Hello, good evening. Am I audible to everyone? Hello, am I audible to everyone?
You are audible, sir.
Okay. So I have posted the YouTube link for my channel. So you can join there and follow the lecture so that who joins later I can admit them in the Google Meet room. So either you can join the YouTube chat and leave, or you can share the link of the YouTube channel with your friends and you can stay in the meet. Geetanjali, your screen is shared. Can you stop sharing your screen? Okay. So till we wait for others, everyone open your Spider ID, launch it, and be ready to solve some programs hands-on. So those who don't have Spider ID, it's okay, but from next class try to install it so that you will do the problems on your own instead of listening from my side. So can anyone check if the YouTube link is working fine? I have posted the link in the chat box. I'm posting it again. It's working. Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. Great. So we waited for 10 minutes. Let's get started with today's lecture. I'll share my screen. So my slides are visible to everyone, right? Okay, great. So, okay. So I'll formally introduce myself again. I am Manikandan. I am a second year PhD student at IIT Bombay. I am a part of the PMRF fellowship program. So I'll be delivering a tutorial based on week 2 contents of the course, The Joy of Computing is in Python. So So if the total attendance exceeds 100, so whoever is in the room can use the YouTube link and can leave the meet room so that others will get space inside. Okay, so we'll start today's tutorial with some basic questions in the assignment. So like last time, I would like for everyone to answer option 1, 2, 3 or 4 in the chat box. Okay, so the first question is, which of the following options correctly prints the phrase hurry up? So it's the question of how do you deal with the syntax of Python. So if you know the syntax of print command in Python, you will be able to answer this. So post your answers in the chat box. We'll move on to the next question in a minute. Okay. Okay, while you answer every question, I recommend that you also try it on your own in your laptops in Spider. Okay, so most of you have answered 4. I'll try it in my IDE as well. Spider. this was the question.
Sir, it's showing.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello. Okay. Okay. You're sharing the screen. Yeah. So others. Yeah. So whoever doesn't have a query, please switch off your mic. There's a lot of extra noise coming in. You can mute. Mute. Yeah. Okay. 4 on 4. Okay. So all your test cases are fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the problem? Can you scroll down slowly? I'm getting a delay.
Okay, sir.
Or maybe can you post a screenshot in the chat, because your okay, now it's fine. Your internet, like your display is not so clear. Can you post a screenshot of your problem? I'm not able to view your screen clearly. So if you post a screenshot in the chat, I'll be able to view clearly and then respond.
Okay, sir. Now I'm posting.
Yeah, post it in the chat. I'll take a look at it. You can stop sharing your screen. Okay, thanks. Needs authorization for installing Spider. Uh, so, where are you trying to download Spider? So, this Spider is an open source IDE, so it doesn't need any license of such sort. So, did you download Anaconda environment first? Punnabrata Chatterjee? No. Okay. So you have to download Anaconda. That has a lot of packages. Like, see, it looks like this Anaconda Navigator. You have to download this. It's shown in the week 1 lecture how to download this Anaconda environment. From there you can launch Spider. It has a lot of open source IDEs for Python. So from this Anaconda Navigator you can launch Spider. It's open source, free. PyCharm. PyCharm is also a similar IDE, but Spider is what we use in this course. So the interface, etc., will be easier for you to catch up with the course. But PyCharm does the same work basically. If you have access to Spider, it's better. Okay. Anyway, both are free. Like in the Anaconda Navigator, it's a matter of choice. I have PyCharm and I have Spider as well. So in the course they are using Spider, so I'm continuing with Spider. Online GDP doesn't support. Online GDP doesn't support packages, but we can do coding. Okay. So you are using GDB for your Python code or some other language? Rishabh Jain. Okay. Okay, so yes, you can use Python GDB for Python as well. But I use the offline version. I don't have any idea about the online version. So it's better to, if you have a Ubuntu device or in a Windows device with a Ubuntu dual boot, it will be better that you have a offline version of GDB. You can just install in the terminal and then you can debug your code offline. That's much better. You can use it for Python also. It does support most of the languages. I use it for Fortran and C++, and Python will be based on the mostly Fortran and C++ packages. So should work. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so continue. Okay, let's continue with the tutorial. Okay, so the print command, the syntax is the fourth option. Fourth option gives the right syntax for print command, where what the string that you want to print will appear under double quotes inside the print function. So all the functions have round brackets, so never use square brackets. Square brackets are used for arrays. Okay.
Sir, can you show that assignment page enlarged? That is very.
Okay, I am using my full screen. So are you viewing in a phone or a computer?
Computer.
It should be fine, I guess.
No, initially it was full scale. Now
Okay.
it is
Okay.
very short.
Okay, I can increase the zoom. I don't know. So I'm using full screen in a slideshow.
Okay. Whereas my requirement is that it should be presented on share screen, sharing screen, or like what that, like that.
Okay. So I am sharing screen, right? From Google Meet, I am sharing screen. Okay. Resume presenting.
Yes, yes.
Is it visible now?
Yes, now it is very clear.
Okay.
Very clear, sir. Visible, very clear.
Very clean, very clear.
Okay. So, yeah. So we were caught up in the first question. The answer is option 4. So as I told you, every function, when you call a function, the syntax is round brackets instead of the square brackets. Square brackets are used for arrays, and when you define a string, it should always be under quotes. So hurry up is a string, and we want to put it under quotes so that a string gets printed in the print function. So what will be the output of the following code snippet? Question number 2.
Option C, first one.
Option C. Okay.
First one, option D.
First one, option B. Question 1, option B, you're saying?
No, D, Delhi, D for Delhi. Option 4.
Okay, option 4. Okay, yeah, we're done with the option, question 1. How about question 2?
Option C is right, sir, for 2.
Yeah, option C is right. Okay, so this is simple. It's just so in this snippet, what they are doing is they are capturing a series of strings into a series of variables. In variable a high is assigned in B Arjuna is assigned, C Bhima is assigned. So all of these variables, they are not any numerical values, they are storing strings, and while printing, the series of strings that we want to print are separated by commas. So in the print command, explicitly one more high is added. Apart from that, the three variables which has already stored three strings are separated by commas inside the print function. So that's why it's printing an extra high. So don't get confused with that. When you look clearly, it should print four distinct strings. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So some more people are waiting. Yeah. Okay. So extension of Python files. This is simple. Just type it in the chat. We'll move to the next question.
Sir, D dot py.
.py. Yeah. Right. .py. Okay. Everyone is familiar with this. Question 4. Which of the following statements currently represent taking input from user in Python?
Option C is right for the.
Option 3. Option 3.
Yeah.
Option C, sir.
Yeah. So option 3 is right. Again,
Sir, it takes a string, right?
Input function.
Input function. What was your question?
Input function takes a set of strings, enter the value.
Yeah.
So A will have structure as string.
So even if
Suppose
you,
hello wonderful.
even if you
Like that.
input a integer or something, it will consider it as a string. Then you have to do the type conversion.
Int of input.
Int of input.
Like that.
Yeah. Int of A in this case.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, I have a question. Is that,
Yeah.
sir? In the fourth question,
Yes.
the option C is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the syntax here is input with the string.
Yeah.
So why we not store the value A is equal to enter the value such that?
Okay. So you are asking that why A is not equal to enter the value.
Yes, sir.
No. So the input command syntax is that. So inside input under quotes, you can print a message that will prompt the user to do something. This can be any message. Give me a number, enter the value, anything. So it will when you use the print function, the computer will prompt this message to you and prompt you to enter a value. And when you enter, after this prompt message, that will be stored into A.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So after this
Got it.
prompt message is printed, whether you input a integer or a string or a float, whatever you enter, that will be stored into A. Okay. So fifth question, what is the output of the following code? So it involves a couple of if statements. The variable D is given some value. When D is less than something, do some set of instructions. When D is greater than 0, execute some instructions.
20, sir. Answer 20.
Option C, sir.
20. Option 3.
Okay. Yeah. So option C. Okay. Most of you got it right.
23.
Yeah. All of you got it right. The answer is 20. So it's a simple if statement. So since d is greater than 0, this line 2 and 3 will be bypassed, and the control flow will go directly from 1 to 4. Okay, let's see. Okay, so everyone understands control
So,
flow.
by the way, line 2 should have colon, right?
Line
If
2,
d greater than 0, then colon. Otherwise, it will give syntax error.
yeah, it should have colon. So that's a syntax error, yes. But I'm not sure about if statement. Sometimes if works without a colon also, because there is no problem of closing the if bracket. If it's a loop or something, we should have a definite end.
Colon, yes, sir. Line 2 should have colon.
Yeah.
Colon.
So let's see. I have my spider ID. D is equal to minus 20. If D is greater than 20, print D. So this was the question, right? Where is it? Yeah, print D. Minus 1 star D. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it shows a syntax error because of not having the colon. Yes. D.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So in the second if statement,
Yeah.
for that we also use elif.
Yeah. Elif can be used. Elif can be used. Else
So,
can be used.
so why not here are used?
So elif is like when you have n classifications. So if statement has only one classification, it will classify a variable, whether it satisfies a variable or a series of comments, whether this statement inside the bracket is it true or not. If it's true, it will execute this block under this if. So if you have a if else, it will have two branches. If this one is true, the if block will be executed, otherwise the else block will be executed. Okay, so when you have more than two blocks, then you will come across this elif command. So you have n number of blocks. Your first block and your nth block will have this if block and the last else block. So in between whatever blocks are there, they are elif.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So when you have multiple branches in your logic, then you go for elif. Here it's a very straightforward program. We can either we could have used a else, or if also does the work, because it's a very simple program. So here it doesn't matter. Okay, so what does this following code do? Question number 6. It involves a for loop.
Displays the number from 0 to n-1.
So voices are
It
overlapping.
will be, sir, 0 to 4.
Number from 0 to 4.
0 to 4. Okay.
Displays the number from 0 to 4.
Yeah. Good.
It goes to n-1.
Yeah, it starts from 0. So in some programming languages, the indexing starts from 1, and in some it starts from 0. So for example, in MATLAB it starts from 1. So MATLAB is also a good programming language for post-processing for your scientific calculations. Most of the engineers will do that. So when you are handling multiple languages, just be careful with this indexing.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, when I program the program number 6 in the C programming, then the value of the starts from 1.
I didn't get your question. Can you repeat? Or maybe chat in the chat box. Your voice is a bit disturbed.
Okay, sir, I will.
Yeah, chat in the chat box. Thanks. How do we understand I starts from 0? Okay, so that is the default functionality of the range function. So different programming languages. So when you execute a function, so for example here, range is a function. Whatever is followed by a round bracket, it's a function. Print is a function. Range is a function. In the previous questions, not more functions. So if it's not a function as such, but it's a statement which calls a certain. Okay. So when you use a function, what it does, it will call some library. There is a repository of logical code that is understood only by the computer. So when we say these syntaxes, these are not understood by the computer. Okay, so it understands only the machine language. So for us to easily interpret and understand the logic of code, we are having these functions to simplify our job. So when this range function is called, it will call some library files which will interpret this command in machine language to the computer. So how that interpretation is done, that is hard coded. Whether you want to inform the computer that your indexing starts from 0 or indexing starts from 1, that is the choice of the person who developed this programming language. So MATLAB people called let's start with 1. So other languages, for example in Python, it starts from 0. So somebody else has posted. Okay, question also. Okay, I'll try to share the solutions also. Discussion group. Yeah, I'll take it up in the discussion group, whatever doubts you have. So library files are like let's say there is a function called sqrt. Sqrt does square root of a number. Okay, so when we call sqrt of 4, it's a function. Sqrt is a function. So the sqrt library will be opened, and inside the library it will be written that you have to take under root of 4. Okay, so that's an example of a library file in a simple manner. Can we initialize a number to 1 in Python? Yes, we can initialize a number from 1 in Python. So for example, in this case we have I in the range 5. Okay, so when you want to use I from 1, just use I plus 1 in the print command. So then it will start printing 1 to 5 numbers, like in option B. So using the inbuilt function, no, we cannot initialize from 1, but we can add some operation. You can do some operations and then use your variable accordingly. Okay, so if you want to print numbers 1 to 5, just in the print command write I plus 1 instead of I. Okay, so
Can you confirm please which one is the answer, sir? Right answer, option A or option D?
option A is the right answer.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So I might as well check others. And hurry up. This one is right. Here C is right. Okay.
Option 4.
Yeah.
Options 3.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So question 7. What does this following code do? Again, it involves some range function and printing.
Sir, the answer is none of this.
None of these answer.
For I in the range 0 to... Okay.
Answer is 20, sir. Original answer.
Which answer is 20?
Number 7, sir. Question number 7. Answer is 20, but is not there in options.
Total of 2. Option A.
Option A, no. So we just discussed in the last question that I takes values from 0 to nth number that you are defined inside here, n minus 1, 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so I correct myself, it's 0 to n minus 1, where n is the number that you give in the range function. Okay, so what will be the range of I from, in this case, what will it run from? What will it start and what will it end with?
Starts from 0 and ends with 9.
Yeah, so starts with 0 and ends with 9. So that is not a table of 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a table of 2, and it is obviously not a table of 10. So is it option B or D?
D, sir.
D.
Semantic error, sir.
So I have some doubts with it. So let's run this one. So whenever you have some doubt, run the code. That's the best thing you can do. For I in range 10, yeah, print 2 star. Okay, so 2 star I in brackets equals to comma 2 star I plus 1. I plus 1. Yeah. Okay, so it is none of the above. It doesn't show any syntax error. Okay, so The option is none of the answer is none of the above. Doesn't show a syntax error. So I was thinking whether this I, in the way it is formatted, it would give a syntax error or not, but it's fine.
It should give the table of 2 only.
No, it won't give you table of 2. That's what we discussed in the last question. So over here I told that
their code is that I plus 1. So for value 9 it will take 10, and 2 into 10 that will be 20. It starts from 0.
Yeah,
So
but
total 10 iterations will be there.
yeah, you are right. It will. The right hand side is completely okay, but what about the left hand side?
That is the two ones are 2.
No,
That is the left hand side pre-part of that table. 2 ones are 1 is equal to 2. 2 ones are 2 is equal to 4. Like that. It will print like that.
no. See, can you see what is printing here?
Yes, can you zoom it, sir?
I not able to zoom more. File view. Okay. Guess. Okay, this is the maximum I can zoom.
What is print, sir? Actually, what is printed is 2 zeros are 2. It is printed. That is
Yeah.
wrong, no? Therefore, it.
Yeah.
That's
so,
what.
So the multiplication table fails.
First, it starts with 0. 2 zeros are. It is showing us 2.
Yeah.
Then it is wrong.
Yeah.
Therefore, none of the above will be the answer. That's all.
Yeah, none of the above is the answer. So somebody asked that it will show from 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4. So for him, I tried to show this, that this is not right. So that's why I was particularly working this one out. So whenever you have doubts of this sort, just write it and see for yourself. Okay, view. I'm not able to zoom this, maximize pane. Okay.
Okay, sir, got
Sir,
it.
it is clear to figure out.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah, you got it right.
There is problem in problem on left side. Right side is correct, but problem on
Yeah,
left side.
yeah.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so none of the above. So what does this piece of code do? Question number 8. So a variable is assigned a value of 1, and after that variable is used in a for loop. What will be the final value of A?
Sir, the value is 24.
The value is
A equal to 1. 1.
so there is some background noise coming from someone. Can you mute if you don't have any queries? Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
So yeah, instead of just thinking, start writing on your own, because if we do the calculation in our mind, there is no point in learning programming. We want to give less stress to our mind. For I in range 5,
Option 4.
option 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll write and check for myself, then I'll cross check with you. A is equal to, then print. So by default there is an indent. If I run print command under here, it will print the current value of A every time the loop is executed. So let me show you that. Print A. So for each iteration, what is the value of A, that will be printed here. Okay, clear this, run. Yeah, see, 1, 2, 6, 24, 120. For each iteration it prints what is the value of A, because the indent says that my print statement is under the for loop. If I remove the indent and my print is here, after that if I run, only the final value will be shown, because my print command is outside the for loop. So the final value of A, which is sent outside the loop, that will be printed. Okay, so the answer is 120. So did everyone get this?
Yeah.
Sorry. Current value is 5. No. No, current value is not 5, because we are calculating the final value of A, not I. Okay, so even I. Yes.
Sir, in the we get output is 120, or we get sum of all the iteration.
No, we get output 120. So
the last iteration is the answer.
yeah, the last iteration is the answer. Yes. So
Okay, sir.
if I put my print command under the for loop, I get this series of numbers 1, 2, 6, 24, 120. So this is for each iteration what is the value of A. So when the first time the loop is executed, A is equal to the pre-assigned value of A, 1 times 0 plus 1. 1 times 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 is here. In the second iteration, A is equal to, now A value is updated, but it's still 1. 1 times 1 plus 1, that is 2. Now A is updated to 2. In the next iteration, the right hand side will be A equals 2 times 2 plus 1, 6, and so on. So that's how the loop is executed. So it's not calculating a sum. Instead, it is doing a multiplication operation in a loop for a certain number of times that we have assigned. Okay, so the loop will be executed 5 times here. Okay, somebody raised a hand. Yes, what's your doubt? Someone raised a hand. Can you put it in chat or open your mic and speak? Okay. So I'll mark this. The right answer is 120.
Sir, can you explain theoretical in this 8th question, sir? I'm not getting, sir.
Okay.
Theoretical manner.
In a theoretical manner. Okay, let's use a program and see what's the theory. Okay. So I'll print what is the value of A every time this loop is executed. So I'll put in strings A is equal to comma A inside quotes star I plus 1. Yeah. Okay, so now I'll run the program. See, theoretically this is what goes inside. Okay, but A is not updated. A star plus 1. No. Okay, so where are you stuck exactly? So in the first iteration, what will be the value of I?
1.
No, 0. 0, right? We just
Okay,
Yeah,
1.
0. So the range function, it ranges from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, so in the first iteration, value of I is 0, as you rightly said. Then what will be the value of A in the first iteration?
1.
1, because we have already pre-assigned a value of 1 to A. Okay, so when the first iteration is passed out, the value of A is updated here. What will be the updated value? So I have printed the updated value for your reference. Okay, so the updated value of 1, A is still 1. Okay, so because 1 times 0 plus 1 is 1. So next time when I run the loop, now the value of A is 1, but the value of I is also 1, because I'm going into the second time, 0 and then 1. So 1 times 1 plus 1 is 2.
2.
Now the current value of A is 2. I printed it. Okay. So the third time I go into the loop, the value of my new A is 2, I'm sorry, 2, and I multiply it by I plus 1. So the third time, what will be the value of I in the third iteration?
Sir, I got it, sir. I got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I got it, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So if you have confusion regarding the how it is done, print A inside the loop instead of just seeing the final answer. So then you'll have a final idea how it goes inside. Okay. So moving on to next question. What is the output of this code? Question number 9. So please try to type this code in your computer and then execute. Okay, don't just calculate in your mind and tell the answer, because the entire point of this session is get you familiarized with doing simple tasks in Python, not on your hand.
Yes, sir.
Error. Option A. Okay.
Sir, option A.
Okay. Okay, some people have said it's 2. Somebody said C, but mostly A's. Yeah. So the right answer is A. Yeah. Because initially D is assigned a value of 5, and so everyone understands the concept of while loop, right? So in while loop, inside the brackets, whatever statement, if it is true, only then the block of...
Excuse me, sir.
Yes?
Sir, I could not understand the syntax while here.
While, okay. Okay. Okay, so I'll pull out a book, maybe Python for everybody. While loop. Yeah. So the execution of while statement is explained here. Okay, so following the while word, you will have some logical statement, whether this quantity is greater than this or lesser than this or not equal to this. Okay, so this statement n greater than 0 should be true. Only then these two lines will be executed. Okay, so here value of n is greater than 0, that's obvious. So only then it will execute these two lines, print n and then n equal to n minus 1. Okay, so the control flow goes like this: evaluate the condition that is following this word y. So it evaluates this condition, n is greater than 0, you ask the computer, it says true, only then these two lines will be executed. If it's false, it will skip these two lines and it will just print, go to the it will exit the loop and it will print this one, blast off. So that's what is written here. If the condition is false, exit the while statement and continue execution at the next statement. If the condition is true, execute the body and then go back to step 1. Yeah, so it will execute the body, which is printing n, and then we are decreasing the value of n to n minus 1. So let's just copy this piece of code, okay, and try it on our own. Valid syntax, okay. Okay, so see, it starts with 5, I'm printing 5 and then I'm decreasing the value of n by 1. So now the new value of n is 4. So next time in the loop it's checking, is 4 greater than 0? Yes. So again execute these two lines, I'm printing 4 and then 4 is reduced to 3, n equal to 4 minus 1. So now the new value of n is 3. I'll again go to the top, okay, and I'm checking whether 3 is greater than 0. So it's again true. Again I'm executing these two lines, I'm printing 3 and I'm decreasing n by 1 again, and so on. Okay, so that's how this is done. If I have a negative number, let's say, okay, I'm clearing this, I have a negative number, so n is not greater than 0, n is minus 1, so I'm running this, blast off, that's all. So this while loop is not executed at all. The first evaluation is done, line number 9 is done, it's checking whether n is greater than 0. The answer is no. So line number 10 and 11, these two lines are not executed. It will skip these two lines and it will go to the next statement, the print statement. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, good books to learn basics of Python. So I just opened one, Python for Everybody. Python for Everybody. This is a good book for a beginner. Basics will be covered in this one. Yeah, so I recommend reading this book, Python for Everybody. Okay. Okay, so where were we? So we are done with the ninth question, right? So ninth question answer is this. So 10th question, what will be the output of this code? So the variable d is assigned to a string, okay, and then a for loop is executed.
Sir, D is string, right? So how you can add one?
Yeah, so that's what we want to verify it. We don't just assume it. Yeah, logically where your approach is right, but still do it for yourself, okay, because you're just learning, so you want to know what are the errors also, if it's an error.
Sir, the option was D error.
Yeah, so as the first person said, if it's a string, obviously we can't add a number to a string, so it will throw an error. So both of you are right, it will throw an error because D is assigned to a string. Okay, so a couple of hands-on tasks for you. So in this assignment, your task is to write a program that will read the input number and print it. Okay, so the input will contain only one number and output the same number. So for example, I want the computer to prompt me, like give me a number, and then I'll give 10, and it will also print it as an output. So a hint is given, so use this hint, and it's just a 4-line code. So all of you can do it in 5 minutes and show me the code. Maybe I'll allow you to share your screen. Okay, so I'm keeping this question open. I'll just allow some people. Yeah, print input. Yeah, write the code and then let me know. Num equals inverted. Yeah, okay, you are taking num, you are doing the int conversion, but printing, yeah.
Sir, make the question visible to us.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so someone is so some people have given some responses, but the latest response is like int input undercodes 10 and then print n. So the question is to prompt you to give a number, not explicitly assign a number. So input 10, if you use this command, it will prompt you with a message 10. So enter a number is a good message. So we want the interaction with the machine to be unambiguous. Yeah, again, input 10 is not a good message. So it can be like enter a number, give me a number, what is your input, anything that you like. But this input message with the 10 is confusing. Your intention towards programming, whether it is, do you want the error input message to be 10 or you are explicitly assigning it to a value of 10? That is confusing. Please enter a number. Yeah, that's a good input. Yeah, so this is a one-line code someone has written where it is like both the print integer conversion and the input function, everything is called in one line. Num input. Yeah, Athar Joshi is right. Print num. A equals enter number. And print the number. And print A. Num equals int input number. Okay, yeah, good. Author and publication of the book I mentioned. Okay, so let me Python for everybody. So I guess this is the link. Yeah, this is the link for the book. Let me share it. So I have shared the link for the book that I suggested, so everyone can access that. Yeah. So this book is a very basic book. I would suggest you to start with this one, and if you are done with that, then for scientific calculation there is another book, Christian Hill. learning scientific programming with Python. So this will take you through more complex functions and all. So don't start with this one. Start with yeah, we can move to next one. I was just waiting for everyone to be done. Okay, so if there are no doubts in the last assignment, try this one. So in this assignment you will have to take two numbers, integers, as your input and print the addition in your output. So I want the input to be in this specific format. The first line of input should contain two numbers separated by a space.
Sir, the number is predefined or user defined, sir?
User defined.
Okay, sir.
So use the input function, but at the same time I want both the numbers to be separated by a space. P input, yeah, split, yes. So I'll try one of your answers. So I'll stop sharing for a moment. Let me know when everyone is done with the assignment, so then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, few responses. Put first number. So some of you are writing like A is equal to input some number and then B is equal to some number, but I asked for the input command in a certain format. I want both the numbers to be entered in the same line, separated by a space. Yeah, some of you are this is block, the last one had typo. Okay. So you have to use the split function. So some of you are using it right. Others who are taking two numbers two times, try to use the split command. Then that using is inefficient. Split returns a list which is being converted into a tuple, and the tuple is immediately unpacked. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll. Okay. Okay, still people are writing. So I'll wait for 2 more minutes. Still some people are doing. Okay, so this one was just all about syntaxes and input, formatting your input. Okay, so you want your inputs to be organized in such a manner, in a certain manner, that it looks unambiguous and you don't get confused when you recall this program. Okay, so this is how I wrote the code. Okay, so I'm assigning two variables to a user defined input separated by a split space operator. So inside the quotes I have space. Okay, so and then these two variables are so the input function takes everything as a string. We have to convert that into an integer. So I'm using this int function that will convert my input strings into integers. Okay, so x is converted into an integer, y is converted into an integer. I'm printing their sum. Print x plus y. So for example, 4 plus 6, 10. Yes. So I'll run it again. 10, 20. The answer is 30. Okay, so everyone is clear with this, right? Okay, I'll move on to the next question. So this is the last practice problem probably. So given two numbers, they are integers, you should give them as your input and compare those two numbers and print out the smaller number. So again the first line of inputs should be separated by a space. So I want the input format in this way and then output the smaller number. An example is given. I'm inputting 2 and 3. So 2 is less than 3. So my output is shown here. And do it for all the test cases and check for yourself. So I have given some test cases here. Try all of them. So sometimes you may get the right output even if your code is wrong. So that's why we run many test cases to recheck whether our code is logically driven or it's just luck that we are bypassing some logic and still we are getting the right output. Okay, I'll wait for you all for 5 more minutes and let me know the answers. cases. Okay. Hello. Yes. Hello. Somebody had a doubt? Okay. So if everyone has solved it, so if you have any doubts from the week 2's content or any difficulty in your assignments, you can ask me. So, no doubts from the assignments? Is everyone okay with what we did, the assignments today? Okay, week 3, all test cases are running, but once remaining all passed. So, can you share your screen, Rajit?
Yeah, sure. 1 second.
Yeah.
You are able to see my screen?
Yeah, just press that ignore. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll compile and run now.
Yeah, sure.
So here everything is passed.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go and submit it now.
Okay.
So the first one is showing wrong. But I can solve this if I'm taking this print within the loop. It will solve. Maybe I can show you that also.
Okay.
Putting this and I made the changes. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to run it.
Okay.
So here all test cases are passed, but it is showing this presentation error. That's the reason I took this outside. So
Okay.
I'm going to submit it. So here everything is passed. Only thing is issue is that presentation error is coming.
Okay. So. Okay. So can you show?
I have solved this problem with all test case passed. These are the public test case which you have passed. But this is a Fibonacci series, right?
Yeah.
So if input comes like 1, then you have to just return 0, and if it is 2, and you have to return 0 and 1.
Yeah.
So like you have entered type a code for inputs that are greater than 2, and you have to check if the input is less than equal to 1, or equal to 2. Then if it is equal to 1, then you have to print 0. If it is equal to 2, then you have to print 0 and 1. Then you have to calculate this Fibonacci series. Then if it is greater than 3 or equal to 3, then you have to calculate this Fibonacci series and print the Fibonacci series.
Yeah.
Right. Here with this method also I am getting the answer. The only thing
Yeah, these are all public test case. But when you submit it, it will check with the private test case which you cannot see.
Yeah.
So I had this same error, but once I aware of those 0 and 1 input, then I could able to solve, pass all 4 test cases.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want, I can send you the code too. Just a minute.
Yeah, I think we cannot send it now because the assessment it is called should be submitted only on next.
Oh, okay.
So maybe after this date will you be sent.
You can discuss among yourselves. You can privately contact and discuss among yourself.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So that's what the discussion forum is for. If you have any doubt and somebody has solved it, it will be useful to if you interact among each other. Because I only get to interact with you once a week. So if all of you interact among yourselves, it's good.
Yeah, I will make sure I go through those questions in a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So any other doubts you have, or yeah, stop sharing. Okay, so anyone has any other doubts? Any discussions that you want to put forth? So I have some basic theory for you people that might be helpful in okay. So a couple of basics of Python, about Python. Okay. So so I'll upload these slides, so you don't need to worry. So it's just an overview of Python and some theory that I have added in slides. So most of them can be found in the Python for Everybody book. So, but if you don't have time to read the book, then go through the slides. So application of Python in web development side, software development, scientific computing, everyone, and in post-processing in scientific community, it's really handy, the Python. So when you have output of your when you come across simulations in your higher studies, so when you will have your outputs formatted in a column format. So to access each column means each physical quantity, and then plot them in the way that you want using a function. Somebody has joined. Okay. Python will come really handy. Python and MATLAB are used for this post-processing things. So Python is more open source. MATLAB needs some license and all. So Python is preferred compared to MATLAB. Okay. So these are some of the applications of Python, and then it works across different platforms. So the more reasons to why Python is preferred over other programming languages. Okay. So then again, about syntax errors we had just discussed. So if you have this kind of, instead of print, you write something else, and then your code is totally wrong. So even then, so what I want you to do when you write a larger piece of code, whenever you have this kind of silly syntax errors, the IDE will throw you an error message pointing out to the line number of the code. I don't know if all of you have noticed that, because all we are doing is writing some 3-4 line programs. So far you may not have encountered that, but when you write codes with functions and sub-functions in it, it will become really handy. That debugging is an art. So you should look at which point you're going wrong and go to that line and then scan through the line where the logic is wrong, then debug it. So debugging in Python we'll cover in the next few weeks. So this is just an introduction where we have to be careful. Okay, so to create a comment, I hope everyone is aware that a comment, it makes your code neat. So when you have a program that does multiple things, so you want to define each block. So in this block I am performing this certain task, so I am getting the smallest number of a given array in this block. In the next block I am doing summation, etc, etc. So whatever operations not all the operations, but a certain set of commands which conform to a certain task can be grouped under a command. Okay, so this grouping of commands will help you to again in debugging which part of logic you are going wrong. So that can be easily traced back if you are using comments. So yeah, comment is again for readability, to prevent execution when testing code. Yeah, so when you comment so you have a large piece of code which does 10 tasks, but you're not sure about the 10th task, so you just want to leave it out temporarily. You don't want to delete it, So you can just comment it. So if you comment them, those lines will not be executed. So whatever is appearing in green, they won't be executed. So if this line is at the end, it will be skipped. And if it's at the, so let's say there are some number of lines before this, so the control flow will flow like this. It will totally ignore this line. Okay. So when I have a doubtful operation that I don't want to execute, first I want to check the other lines. So that time comment is the way to go. Okay. And some reserved keywords. So so far we have come across else, elif, define, continue we have not yet. For we have come across, if we have come across, then while, return, try and all will go through in the following weeks. So whenever you're defining a variable, don't use these words to define variables. So why is that? Because these words have a certain functionality to it, so it does a certain task. So when your variable is given this name, the interpreter will get confused whether you're calling the variable or you're calling the compiler to do this task, whether you want to do if statement classification, etc., etc. Okay. So these are some of the words, some 35 keywords are there. So never use them for variable definition. Okay, never name a variable after this. Again, some syntax errors, so you can go through this. I'll upload these. Okay. So these are some sample programs. We don't need to go through this essentially. This is just to show what are the keywords used in this program. That's all. So whatever keywords are appearing, they'll be highlighted in a colored thing. Okay. Some more syntax errors and some basic exercises. I hope now all of you we can bypass this question. All of you are better than this. So variables. So a variable can, so as I told you, keywords cannot be used to define name variables. So it can have numbers and letters, but it doesn't start with a number. You have to be careful with that also. You can use an underscore, but other special characters are not entertained. So if you have a long variable name, use underscore, etc., and then define name a variable accordingly. And this is the operators precedence. So I hope you all have taken some sort of programming course in your first couple of semesters in your bachelor's, etc. So whenever you have mathematical operations to be performed, so the operators have a certain order of precedence. So the order of precedence goes like this: pem dash, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and then subtraction. Okay, so this is the order of operation. So these are just some exercises. You are all familiar with this right now. So this is the order of execution. So you need, if you have a long mathematical statement that uses all the operators, then you should be careful with the order of execution of it. Okay. So use as much parentheses as you want. You are free to do that, but always remember to close the parentheses once you open it. Okay. Yeah. So, and there are some other operators. So the modulus operators. So the modulus operator, it will it will return you the remainder. So if you divide 7 by 3, it will give you a quotient of 2 and a remainder of 1. So this percentage 3, it will give you an output 1. So when you print the remainder, it will give 1. Print quotient, it gives this. So this is how you get quotients, double backslash. Okay, and the model remainder you can get this using the modulus operator. So some other things. So this will be, you'll be using this thing in your third assignment or somewhere, where you need to print a series of stars. So this is all you need to do there also. So when you multiply a string by a number, it doesn't give you a number. Instead, it will print the string 3 times. Okay, so you have, I don't remember which assignment exactly, where you need to print a series of stars, 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, etc. So over there, all you need to do is you should use a for loop, and then use an iterator's default in for loop, and then you will assign this star to a string variable, and then multiply the string variable by the number of times you want to print it in a looping manner. Okay, so that's how you do that problem. I guess it's in assignment 3 or somewhere. So it's a simple thing, you can do that. Okay, some more exercises. You don't need to do these now, you are all familiar with it now. So anyway, I will upload these presentations in a Google Drive link, so you can access them. So this is just how logic is, the control flow is going. So it's important to realize your program in a flow chart and see where your control is going. So wherever you write a number of codes, so just imagine how your control flow is going. Is this line going to be executed, or does it go like skipping this, etc. You just keep it in mind. Okay, so imagine a flow chart in your mind, basically. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
Sir, suppose we have a method and we give a parameter like self. So what do you mean by self? Like, suppose we take input and we use the parameter self.
Self, okay.
Yeah. So what do you mean by self in Python? Like, can you briefly discuss?
Self is not a keyword, right? Self will just be a string, that's all. So all of the reserved words that I have listed here, so here self is not there.
Sir,
yes?
I think he is asking about classes and objects, where we use a self in a method.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's in week 3 content or what? I have not gone through them.
It is not in week 3, sir. Maybe it will be in like further classes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll come to it. So even I have not come across self. So where is self used exactly?
Self is not a keyword, sir. Like we can also use it in like we can also use different keywords.
Okay, we'll discuss it next time. I'll go through in the book. You can also maybe get an example problem or something. We can discuss in more detail next time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Like I can explain it. It is used to call the instance of an object, like instance of a class. Like when we call and create an object, then we call an object, then it will call the instance. Like Like I think you could explain it in the future
Okay,
class.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, objects. I don't think we'll go till objects in this course. This is just a
Yeah.
beginner course.
So it's basically you are like saying it will access the objects, right? Like the parameters which are present in the function.
Okay. For example, if I'm creating a class core and I
Okay.
created two objects, core1 and core2.
Okay.
If I didn't mention self in methods inside a class, then it will throw an error because it doesn't know which core object I'm calling. So it will like pass the object current passing, like current calling object to that method. So it will, like when we assign variables and things in a core1 class, and we assign like different values to variables in a next core object, core2 object, then if we call if I don't create like mention a self keyword inside a method, then it will throw an error, like it doesn't know which um, like which value like belongs to which object and things. Like I think there are many YouTube videos regarding that. I can explain it if I present it and type a code. I think I will hope you will understand watching YouTube videos and going through some examples in internet. You will understand it if you go through an example. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, that's good. So, I doubt that this course will go till that level. It's just a beginner course.
Yeah, I hope so, sir.
Yeah. So, so, uh, so if you know that much already, you can take this course as a practice and then fine tune yourself, get used to it more. Or
Yeah.
so if you are doing scientific, if you are interested in how Python is, so if you want to go to the next level, then there's a
Yeah.
book by Christian Hill.
Okay.
So there you can learn how to use Python for scientific computing.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I will check out, sir.
Yeah. So the author is Christian Hill.
Yeah, I see the link in the chat box, sir. I will
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through.
yeah. I think I had added. So you can
Yeah.
just check out that book. So it will also start from the basics, but it will walk you through the different libraries, Matplotlib,
Yeah, yeah.
everything. So plotting and whatever, like
Yeah, those
dealing with
data science and things. Yeah.
yeah, dealing with objects, etc. You can find it there.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. I will check that out, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.